During World War II, American airmen flew fuel and supply missions over the Himalayas stretching from India to China, but the weather on this route was treacherous and hundreds of American planes disappeared. Clayton Kuhles is the president of a company called MIA Recoveries Incorporated. It specializes in locating and recovering lost U.S. airmen. This video is from a story I did about 15 years ago with Clayton. His missions continue. And over the years, he and his team have helped account for 279 personnel listed as MIA. He's a Chicago native. Went to Lane Tech right down the street.
Wow.
Clayton, great
How are
to
you,
talk to you.
That's correct. Good morning. How are you all today?
Doing great.
Good. How did all this get started? I know you were a businessman at one point. I don't know if you're still doing that, but how did you just say, I'm going to get my backpack and go hiking?
Well, I've always loved the mountains, and I took some engineering courses, and then I took mountaineering, and I just became infatuated with climbing some of these peaks. And then in 2002, I was climbing a peak in northern Burma. It's the highest peak in Southeast Asia. And while climbing that peak, I came across a wreckage of a U.S. Army Air Corps C-47. And when I notified the U.S. Embassy in Rangoon about it, they were fascinated. They wanted the GPS coordinates, and they were the ones who told me that hundreds of aircraft had gone down on this route known as the Hump, and that well over 2,000 airmen were still listed as MIA on that route. And when I learned that, I became enthralled with the story, and I started meeting some of the airmen. I went to their reunions back in the early 2000s. They still held annual reunions, and many of the airmen still alive. So, and the more I learned about it, the more engaged I became in it, and I decided to refocus all my mountaineering activities into searching for these MIA Americans.
So, Clayton, why isn't the government doing what you're doing? Why are you one man doing this?
Well, these airplanes went down in a mountain range. It's very remote. It's on the Burma-India border, and that area is also home to some insurgent organizations, the Kachin Independence Army out of Burma, and then some Maoist groups out of India. And I think the U.S. government might be concerned about a hostage situation where some of their personnel might be taken and held for ransom. And I've encountered them. So
how did you talk your way out of this?
Well, they already knew about me, believe it or not. They already heard about me. And within moments after that photo was taken, they were actually shaking my hand and telling me about some other aircraft wrecks they knew about in those mountains. So here again, I came away with more information. I just didn't have the time. We had just come down off the mountain, off the 15,000-foot mountain, so I was exhausted at that point.
What's the reaction you get from relatives when you have discovered their remains of their loved one?
Well, at first there's disbelief. You know, we contact the relatives by phone, and then if they're nearby or if they want a face-to-face meeting, then I always travel to them and sit down at a face-to-face meeting. Just disbelief, because for all these decades, all they had was a very short one-paragraph telegram from the U.S. government. And so this is the first real information they've had on where the aircraft is and the particulars of the terrain and everything else. So they're just flabbergasted, generally speaking.
How many service members have you found and identified at this point?
Well, there's been close to 300 that I've accounted for. These are 297 to be exact, and these are people who had been listed as MIA up until the point that I located the wreck and identified the wreck. But as for actually recovering the airmen's remains, that requires going back to the site with a larger team and archaeologists and excavating. So you could be on site for sometimes a month to 2 months doing a full excavation.
This gentleman,
so I have recovered some.
Yeah, this is from a more recent mission. I believe this is December 2021. Tell us about Lieutenant Shearer.
Right. His son, who was born at the very tail end of World War II, is now a retired police detective in upstate New York, Westchester County, I believe. Anyway, his son contacted me a few years ago and told me about his father missing on the Hump and asked if I could try to find the aircraft crash location. So I gathered all the archival reports on the crash and plotted out the flight path, and eventually I found it, and I found it in December of 21, and it was on a 15,000-foot peak, and 13 personnel were aboard that aircraft, including Lieutenant Shearer. Like I said, he was riding aboard as a passenger. He had completed his assignment overseas and was scheduled to rotate home. So that made it even more tragic.
And then on a mission in 2008, the wreckage for these airmen was found?
Let's take a look. Do we have this picture of 2008? This is Lieutenant Hunt.
That's correct. Yeah, I had found his wreckage, the aircraft wreckage, in 2008. Notified all the family members. We do our best to track down the families and notify them. Now, I have not recovered remains from that site yet. To do a recovery takes a little bit larger budget, and that's always a challenge, raising that extra money.
And how much money do you need for your next mission? How can people help?
Well, I would appreciate any donations. They're all tax deductible because we are a 501c3 registered by the IRS. I would like to do the recovery of a B-24. I would like to raise significantly more money than I have. Right now, we've raised $15,000 from the Chinese American community in Los Angeles. But to do a recovery, my last recovery was in 2019, and I budgeted $70,000 for that.
Wow.
Which is actually a bargain because the U.S. military spends upwards of $200,000 per mission, and they may go back 2 or 3 times to complete the mission. But I can do it in one mission because we'll stay on site for however much time it takes to accomplish the mission.
Wow. Well, here's the info on your screen, MIArecoveries.com. Thank you so much for joining us, Clayton.
Thanks, Clayton.
Thank you so much for your interest in this subject.
Keep up the good work. We'll be right back after this.